What do people say when they talk about you when you're not there? He's an idiot. Not any good at Crash Bandicoot racing. Can't even beat them in a battle of Pokemon.
People are really saying that?
Truth of the matter is, we don't know. But what we can control is how we can be better to those who we surround ourselves with.
Hi, my name is Andy and I am here to help you become the best version of yourself. So today we are going to be talking about the email that changed my life, or the text message that changed my life, and we're going to be talking about whether it actually changed my life, how you can use it yourself, and make you really uncomfortable sending it. Let's get into it. I've just started my self-development journey, or what I believe to be my real self-development journey, because I would consume content constantly from people I loved and admired in the self-development space, in the business space. Didn't really take much in. So now what I done was collectively gathered all that I could remember from probably about 2 years of consuming the content, and then actually started implementing it and learning to consume better by writing down, taking notes, taking action, which is the most important thing, in which we're doing right here. For those of you who know, I have done 2 videos now surrounded by the miracle morning. It was one talking about if it actually worked, and on my 30-day progression, which has been going incredible. Now there was another thing at the back of the book, and it was called The Email That Will Change Your Life. So I was intrigued. Could this email really change your life? I mean, I have had a fair few emails that says a couple £1,000,000 are waiting for me at the other side of me giving them my bank details. I mean, some of them have been scams, but you never know. This was at the end of the book, and I'd read the email and I'd read what he sent to people. And I thought it was crazy. I did not think I would want to do something like that. And I didn't think it would be invaluable to me to do so. I didn't really have the same people that Hal was speaking about in the sense, and also I didn't really send emails to a lot of people, so it didn't work. All excuses really, but we're just not going to talk about that. The email makes you uncomfortable and says to change your life because you put yourself in a space that just you don't want to be in all the time. The thing is, everyone sees you differently. No one sees you the same. No one pictures you in the same way, envisions you in the same way, and you have already perceived yourself in some light. You think you know who you are to other people and what other people would say about you and who you truly want to be. But you don't. You don't know that. You don't know how people feel about you. You don't know what impact you've made. You don't know what negative impact you've made either. And some people see that differently. Many of you might be wondering then, what is this email? What does it actually entail? And is it really going to go about changing your life? These are all incredible questions, and ones I had for myself, because I didn't have a clue what this would do or how this would benefit me in any way. And I decided to take it upon myself to take that first leap for you, for your entertainment. And you're going to be doing it next. That's the rules. I didn't make them up. That's how it goes. If I do it, then you have to. Let me read out the email, or the text version I made for it, and I'll put it in the description for you so you can copy it when you're going to send it to all those people after you do it. Yeah. The text goes as follows. Dear friends and family, this isn't an easy one for me to send, but is extremely important to me. So I sincerely appreciate you investing your valuable time and hopefully responding to it. This message is going to only a few select group of people and YouTube now. Each of you know me well, and I'm hoping you give me honest feedback about my strengths and, more importantly, my weaknesses, aka areas of improvement. I've never done anything like this before, but I feel that for me to grow and improve as a person, I need to get a more accurate picture of how I'm showing up in people who matter to me the most. So I'm looking for your feedback. So all I'm asking is that you take just a few minutes to email or message me back with what you honestly think are my top 2 or 3 areas of improvement. If it will make you feel better, you can also list my top 2 or 3 strengths. You're definitely welcome to. That's it, and please don't sugarcoat it or hold anything back. I will not be offended by anything that you share. In fact, the more brutally honest you are, the more leverage it will give me to make a positive change in my life. Thank you again, and if there's anything else I can do to add value to your life, please let me know. Have a fantastic day. So that was the text I sent to quite a few people. Let's just say I had a lot of different responses, and we're actually going to talk about them on here, about my weaknesses. Hal talks about him sending this email out at 2:33 in the morning. I think that was roundabout when he sent it out. And he actually woke up the next morning thinking, did I dream this? Because no way in hell would I have actually done this and sent that out. Turns out he did. And turns out I'd done the same. Yeah. Don't know why. I started with family who I was very comfortable with, and that was my brother. I knew if I'd sent it to him, he would give me honest feedback for what I'm doing, and would probably be the nice person that he is and send the positives as well, which he did. I guessed that right. And then I started to try and get more uncomfortable. So I sent it to some family that, although I am very close with, probably would find it a little bit odd me sending them a text like that. And sent it to some of my aunties, I sent it to some of my school friends, and some of the people I've actually met online during the process of me being here. Now, I could have sent it to a lot more people, but I wanted to make sure that I was narrowing it down to just a select few. It wasn't for any purpose sake or because I was closer with someone than someone else, because I actually wanted a wider range of people. Some who I maybe weren't as close with, and some who I was really close with. And that would give me a good baseline for how different people see me and how I can start to make a positive change in my life for other people to add more value. I was so nervous to send it that I sent it at around 8:50 in the morning, because I had a lecture at 9, so that I could just run away from all the responsibilities of looking if people responded to me and didn't have to deal with that, as I could focus on my lecture and have constant butterflies in my stomach waiting for responses for people. Before I read out some of the answers that I got back and some of the stories I read of them, if we truly want to improve and develop ourselves further, we have to become uncomfortable. There's just no other way about it. If we can be accepting of that uncomfortableness, we can really do anything. And there was a really good quote, and I can't remember who said it, but it's repeated a lot. The more uncomfortable conversations you have, the more successful you'll be. The quicker you can have the more uncomfortable conversations, the easier your life is going to be as well. And this is what I was constantly repeating to myself as the time went on. This channel is dedicated to helping you become the best version of yourself. And by doing that, I want to do the same. Therefore, I have to take the jump first to show you what it's like and how it's not as scary as you actually think it is. We don't see it that way because we have all these things built up from our past experiences to do that, and it really doesn't help us move forward. Now, the first person to respond was my brother, to no surprise of my own, but it wasn't in the way I thought. He actually came upstairs to tell me that I had to phone my granda because he got worried that I'd text him that message, which, I mean, I probably shouldn't have done it on my mum's death anniversary. I mean, timing was bad, okay, but it was the best time to do it because I was taking that leap that day. Yeah. But after phoning him, he actually told me that I was fine the way I was and that he was very proud of me, which actually made me cry in the morning during my lecture. I was definitely listening though, if any lecturers are listening. I was listening the full time. My brother came back with some of the positives because he wanted to make sure he wasn't being a dick the whole time. But the two things that he focused on more was eat more breakfast to make sure that I'm fueled and energized for the morning, and to focus on one thing each day. This is one of the flaws that I've had for a long while, and that's trying new and different things because I'm excited about new things that are happening. And I think I always want to do this, I always want to move forward with that, but there was too long of a time where I was focusing on everything and anything that came to me. This is the sort of shiny rock syndrome, and I know I've had this for a long while, but having that repeated to me and showing that this is actually the case to someone I'm probably the closest with did really bring it to light. And I've actually been focusing on a lot less things than I used to. I've stopped streaming, I've stopped posting to certain social medias and focusing on ones that are actually going to bring me the most happiness and help me push other people forward, like YouTube here. Some of the other ones that were laid out that were quite common between some of my friends was my communication. I'm terrible with my phone and I don't text back very quickly. I don't often look at my phone and I don't have any notifications on it, so it's whenever I choose to go on a certain app will I see anything. But they have said that I've become better at this over time and that I have become quicker at responding. So I'm going to take that as moving forward in the right direction. My aunt and uncle both said that I should stop swearing as much online. Fuck that. Now I'll move on to talk about one of the ones that probably impacted me the most. I believe he was one of the most brutally honest ones out of everyone. And it's not to say that everyone wasn't, but there was two who stood out more with the brutal honesty. And I want to read those out to maybe spark something in you. Maybe it comes to your mind that you're doing this as well, or maybe you can just laugh at me being an idiot. One said that I detached myself from people and tried to become too independent. And I think this speaks to a lot of those who like to do everything on their own. You know, you like to do things your way, and I certainly do. If I know I can do something good, and I know I could do it better than most, I will want to take charge in that. And at that point, when it comes to this stage, I become a little bit too independent, and I don't ask for anyone's help, and I just try to do it as best I can. I will do the research, I'll put in the work, when if I'd just asked someone, or asked for a little bit of help, I've probably been a lot easier. This is something I'm definitely going to try to work on over the next few years, as it is what I want to move towards. I want to build a team. I want to have systems around me that help flow the business in a lot easier way. Of course, that isn't happening right now, but as I do get that, I would love to be the best leader I can. I do believe I can lead well, and I've captained my teams to win leagues in football and for national competitions as well. But that doesn't mean you're always being a great leader when it comes to everything that you do. You can always improve, you can always develop further. And I need to make sure that I'm involving other people and not becoming too independent when times need that. Some of the other things he said is we have plenty of time to achieve what we want, don't need to rush it, and how bad are these problems going to be in 1, 2, and 5 years? Honestly, things that I did put far too much stress on myself for, about achieving this so quickly and getting to this stage fast. It's just not really the case. You don't need it, and it was a hard hitter. I'm saying all these because I hope that they can help you improve as well. I hope that this can show that there's a lot that I need to improve on too, and we all do. There's not one person on this planet who couldn't improve on something, and this is just the sort of honesty videos that I hope can actually make the positive change you're looking for. And the other person that I'm talking about made a lovely text that was full of incredibly valuable information, and I realised that this video might be a little bit longer if I read everything out, but this was just the basis of it. One of them was to make more time for friends, and this was something that sort of hit me a little bit more. I'd always thought I was, quite good in that front. I thought I'd kept up with some friends. I thought I went out enough to speak with them and chat with them and go out my way. But then I realised when I really looked at it and I read that, I didn't. I then decided after that point that I would try to text them at least once a week, as much as I could, just to see how they were doing, to wish them they had a great day, and to say that I'm proud of them. It might not be much, but it's a step in the right direction for me. And I think oftentimes when we're wanting to work on our business, or we're really ambitious with what we want to do, we forget everyone else around us. And it's not in a spiteful way. You don't want to forget them, and you never want to forget them. You love their friendship. But it's just your focus is elsewhere, and you forget that there's other people rooting for you as well, who could help you on your journey. You've just got to make sure that you're still there and present in their life. The other thing was putting too much on my plate at the one time. Something that came up probably most out of them all when it came to those who knew me very well, and the other being opening up a little bit more. Probably something I'd do a little bit too much, as that shiny object syndrome really does get in the way. I mean, things are pretty goddamn cool, right? All of that said, these are some of the things that people have said to me in these texts. I believe everyone got back to me, if I'm not mistaken, who I sent the text out to, in maybe like a day or less. So it was really good to see how that was shaped. I had never tested my true sort of ability to handle criticism before, in that sense, because some people told me face to face, some people told me over text, some people wanted to chat with me, and it was hard, it was difficult, it was challenging, because although I've been criticised for things like in football when I mess up, I know how to bounce back in that sense. But in my business and in my personality, I've never been hit that hard by so many people at the one time. This was truly uncomfortable, in a good way. I wasn't scared of the responses I would get, because I kind of had a sense of, okay, what have I actually got to improve on? What are the things that they see that I don't? Because we all have blind spots. We all have places we have no idea what's going on, or how we react to certain situations don't actually match up to the way we think it in our head, but it does to someone else. Getting that wide variety of people, from family, friends, and people you've met online, you see people who have known you all your life, who raised you, and who have just met you from the last year on social media. I've written all of these down on Notion. I look at these as many times as I can. It's not every day, but the table allows me to see what people said and get a better understanding of why they said it and what I'm trying to work towards becoming. If we want to move forward, we must take action. So by that means, down in the description, all that's there for you. You can copy, paste it, send it away, get all that feedback. The whole question of this video then is, has it changed my life? Has this email really changed my life? I wouldn't say just yet. The email or the text that I sent out has definitely gave me more perspective. It's allowed me to see where my flaws lie and where I consistently turn up in those flaws to then improve upon. This isn't something that I'm just going to be able to change overnight. Actually, maybe texting my friends more is probably something I could change overnight, which I have been trying to do, but that only remains consistent if I actually do that. Everyone can help you grow. No matter who it is, even if the person despises you, that person can help you grow into becoming a better version of you. And this also sparks the really good lesson that one person's value of you doesn't determine who you are. And this is where the 1,000 lovely comments and it's the one negative comment that sticks out, that person's perceived value of you and perceived notion of who you are isn't reality. because everyone has a different one. The ones that matter are the ones that you put to the forefront and actually want to change. And this is why this email is so valuable. Maybe this email isn't the email that will change your life, but it could give you a different perspective on who you are and how you could become a better brother, friend, family member, anything. The last lesson, and just a quick one, honesty is always the best policy. Don't do things that are not going to benefit both parties. Do things to help other people. Just be honest with your friends and your family, and don't be afraid to tell them the truth. Because at the end of the day, everyone will always thank you for that. Even if they don't tell it to your face, they'll thank you for the truth. I want this channel to be a sort of documentation of my journey of becoming the best version of me. And if I'm gonna be uncomfortable, then I want you lot to do the same. That sounds like a really weird thing to say, but the only way we're gonna do this together and we're actually gonna move forward is by you taking that jump as well. I plan to grow to implement some of these things that they have said to me in these texts. And I plan to do my best to remain consistent with them. And I'm actually going to text some of my friends now just to keep on top of that. Now my plan is to move forward and try to become more uncomfortable, which is a really weird thing to say, to then grow and improve. And I'm looking forward to taking you on that journey. I want to thank all the Patreons who continue to support me of creating these videos and posting them weekly. And if you would also like to check out the video that is on the page right now, I know you'll love it. I know you'll enjoy it. Why not check out another video? Have a fantastic day.